Hey, sis.
Hey, sis.
And hey, y'all. Welcome back to Hold Up. Let me call my sis.
Mm-hmm.
It's your girl, T. Jamaica Polk, affectionately known as Deconstructing Neuro.
And it's LaMia Radiant, as I'm known on the medias.
Oh my God. Girl.
It's been a long time, y'all. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. Should have left you.
Maybe not. Maybe by the time we put this out, maybe not. I don't know.
It'll be like, they'll be like, damn, they dropping shit every day. Like, no, we're not dropping shit every day. Normally, what had happened was some things behind the scenes with how we usually edit things went askew. And so I had to do a lot of shit manually. And yeah, so it's gonna feel like, damn, they just dropped these 3 videos. Especially if you follow us on YouTube, you'll have gotten 3 videos. But 1 full-length podcast, 2 like extended clips. Like they're each, I think, like at least a half hour, maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
So yeah, it's worth it to go over to our YouTube page and give us a like and a follow and a subscribe. That really, really helps us. But yeah, big sister, what's been going on?
Well, I don't know if I should just mention this now. Okay, I think I'm gonna switch. I know we talked about the thing, whatever. I'm gonna talk about my baby boy being back home.
We can switch the order. We can do hate and love first before.
I'm gonna make the rant my hate and the love because I think that's funny. So we'll end on that note.
Okay, I got you.
And I'll make that short and sweet. But to catch everybody up, I have a son from a dissolved marriage, and recently that person moved out of our city to another state, and so my son is going to be spending all of his summers with his dad. And so he just got back yesterday. No, what day? What's today? Sunday's Friday. He got back Friday, 2 days ago. And man, I'm just already just like, I got the best kid. Like, got it right the first time. Done. Like, honestly, this young man is like the best. He hung out with they pretty much like his brothers at this point. A really good friend of mine. Really, just really nice. Like kind of like Cosby Show type family. Black, successful. And they have 3 boys, and they're pretty much like his brothers. So they were just at the pool yesterday. It was just so cute. Like everything about it was cute. And he's super chocolate.
You got that son. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just adorable. He got a bunch of new clothes and sneakers, and so yeah, I'm just excited to have him back. Honestly, he's my little baby, and that's all.
You so happy. I love it.
I really am proud of. That's the best thing I've ever created. Seriously,
he is the best little dude. Like he's funny and smart and talented. Like he's just
very focused too.
Yeah,
like we did this thing yesterday too. So now because he's starting middle school, so we got to do some. I know, isn't it crazy? It's crazy, and technology be having me messed up because like I'll randomly pick up my phone and photos be like, "Here's a memory from 5 years ago," and I'm like, "Do not do this,
right?
Don't do this."
I just had that happen on Snapchat. I'm sorry, I gotta, and I'll send it to you so I'm added to the problem. Yeah. But it was something a biscuit when he was little. I was just like, oh.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And like, if anyone knows us, y'all know like that child was chunky boots. Like he cannot be smaller now. He could not be smaller. He's so skinny and like skinny swole for like an 11-year-old.
Yes, because he always active, especially with soccer or football. But no, like you remember one of my early nicknames for Noah was Fat Guy because when he was a baby, he was so chunky, so roly poly, and I always used to say no visible joints. He
at
had so
all.
much fat. You couldn't see his elbows, his
It's
wrists,
crazy.
his knees. It was just the fat guy. And then it didn't take very long for
No.
him to slim out. But one thing that remains is those cheeks.
The cheek,
Still
like
got
you,
the
when
little
he's smiling, you can
cheekbones.
see the cheeks from behind. Like it's
Uh,
crazy.
and I'm like, that's why
Yeah.
I get them cheeks, I get that nose, I get that
Mhm.
chin.
Oh, my nose is so cute. Oh yeah, because he's like weightlifting sort of, not like a lot, but for his age, he does a little bit of like curls, lot of calisthenic stuff. He likes
Wow.
he likes to run. He said he might actually do cross country.
Like
Like
so cross
he's
country and
really
soccer.
he's really into just being athletic like that. That's his thing. He's not an artist at
Yeah.
all, but
But
he is very
yeah.
physical in that way. Yeah.
Okay. So you definitely
Um,
got that from you. But no, like I can see that because this nigga always liked to get up on couches when he was little and flip off.
yeah.
Like he's like, I think at one point he said he wanted to be a stunt man, right?
And that was what I thought he wanted to do at first, which I was like, that's fire, because to me that's artistic too. He would be in films and all that, and I was like, that'd be great. Also, I was kind of like, no, because that's an extremely dangerous job.
Right.
So I was a little on the fence about it, but I thought it'd be. I have a friend of mine who's a dancer. She toured with FKA Twigs, and she does like a lot of the pole dancing stuff, and she's actually she and Noah got the same birthday too. Their birthday twins.
Oh.
So she had crazy Sag, and but she also does stunt double work. Like I think she was a double for somebody in some Marvel, like not a main Marvel character, but some Marvel character, like a smaller one. But she. So I mean, that kind of gig can be dope. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I could have seen it, and who knows? He might still go that route. Even maybe the athleticism and the competition of it all is where he is now. But like how life can lifes. You never know.
Right.
And then I know for sure I'm gonna be in the film industry soon. So that's another story. Maybe we'll get to that. So he may cross hairs with him. But yesterday, and then I'll send it to you and we're catching up after this. Yesterday, so I'm trying to get him to we gotta give him some grown man things to learn these days because he's in middle school. And so I was like, okay, I got a couple items we have to get for the house, just like household, toilet paper or whatever. And so I went to the dollar store and I gave him the list. I gave him my card and I said, you got 7 minutes. And the dollar store ain't really a dollar no more. So even though there were only 4 items, I was like, try to stay under $7. So it was 7 and 7. And he was like, all right, put the timer on. And he went in there and did it. Like, it was so cute. Like, he came back. It was, he didn't make the time because it was like a long line. I was like, you gotta use your youth to the advantage. You gotta tell people Home Alone or something, like it's an emergency and cut in line or something. But
don't have this nigga out here lying.
But yeah, he loved it. He's now he wants to do that all the time, like running the store on a timer and because he's very competitive with himself, kind of thing. So yeah, so I'll be doing that with him more, and I'm also going to teach him how to cook some meals like spaghetti and simple things that he can know how to do on his own. So
yeah, oh,
that's where we are.
Yeah, that's Little Biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
I miss him. He's my favorite little dude. Like me and him, we be chilling. Like for real. Like I never get tired really, because even when we just I think it's called parallel play, and I know you guys do it too. I don't think you knew the name of it, but you'll be in the same room together but doing separate things for hours.
Yeah.
That's parallel play, where it's you keep each other company, but you don't actually need to interact with each other. You can be perfectly at peace doing your own thing. I'm like, that be me and Biscuit. I love it.
Yeah, he's big. He's good with that. Oftentimes I'll be on my phone, headphones on, and he'll be playing video games, but we just in the same room together. But I think that's also why he's such a good travel buddy. Like when I drove down to Destin, Florida a few summers back. What was he? Maybe 9? What does he know? He's 11 now. He's probably 8. Yeah, we stayed in like this RV, and it was like a maybe 6 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
Chilling like that kid. Like I've driven up there.
I was about to say,
15
even when he
hours.
was extra little with 2 dogs, he wasn't the problem.
He wasn't the problem. He
On the
wasn't.
whole ride down, like I'm like Noah was chilling back there.
Yeah, he's really
Yeah, we had to
dope.
stop because of Judah and Glory. Them little stink of butts.
I do not recommend traveling with dogs. You don't do it, especially if they are not hyperallergenic and their hairs come out. That shit was
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, Judah, she used to leave her mark everywhere.
I mean, literally, the bitch was like 6 pounds, and it would be like 11 pounds of hair. Like,
hey, told me like she's 6 pounds of dog, 4 of those pounds is hair. That's why she used to look so funny when you would shave her, when like you would get her haircut. She looked a lot better when you kept it a little longer.
A little long, I know.
Oh, Judah. We missed the Judah bean.
That was my shadow for a while. Okay, but go ahead. Let's see what you been up to, sis.
Bitch, not much. Getting myself together. I still have a little bit of time left off from work. Some future travel plans are getting postponed just because we kind of waited too long to make moves. I think I told you me and CJ and Danny were supposed to go to Mexico because we got this like certificate from our vacation club, and we were looking to go toward the end of August, but we kind of waited too long, and so now there's like not really enough like open spots for August, so it like doesn't even let us look for stuff in August, and so now we're looking at like October-ish. Which is cool because it'll start to cool down here and it'll make us, really appreciate a little bit more the getting away to somewhere sunny and tropical.
It's always hot there. It don't ever cool down in Mexico.
No, well, in some parts, yeah, but no, you're getting closer to the equator. Like it gets warmer and warmer the closer you get to the equator. Like it still blows my mind that like I've been to Central America. Like that's the farthest south. Well, actually, I need to look at a map and see if that is farther south than Morocco. I think it is.
I think it is, but I don't. You know what? I don't know geography. I have really good sense of direction though. Like when I drive around a city enough times, I know how to get somewhere. But yeah, I still don't know where some countries are half the time. It's really sad.
And also, you can't just look at a flat map. You gotta look at like a globe and figure out latitude. So I'm like, I think when I can picture the map in my mind,
right,
I picture South America being, I mean Central America. Well, definitely South America, but like Central America being maybe lower than Northern Africa. But we'll verify that and double check. Yeah. But yeah, why did I even bring that up?
Oh, because you were saying that I had to push.
Oh yeah. So yeah, because it's further south. So yes, it's still gonna be warm around October there. So yeah, I'm excited about that. And it's an all inclusive, so it's really nice, sweet. Go to any restaurant, any bar, any spa, any service, any pool within the property. And it's beachfront. And we can drink as much as we want. We can do it. Like, it's going to be fantastic. I'm excited.
Do you want to mention the company you're going through? Is it like that travel thing? No?
It's okay. I was just saying it's our travel club. No free promo.
No free
But it's a travel club we joined back in 2019 when we went to Hawaii. The last time we did a trip with all three of us. When we got there, we joined this vacation club, and it's been clutch. It's been clutch as fuck. I've booked a lot of hotels through them. The last time I went on my little European adventure, I booked my hotels through them, and only one time was it a complete miss. I think I told you the story, but I don't think I've told the story like to the greater wider public. So in February of 2023, I traveled through Europe and whatnot. And again, I booked all of my own stuff, which was different. This is why the most recent trip was a lot different because I just booked the trip and somebody else was in charge of the itinerary. But the last time when I booked my shit, I bounced around from country to country and I booked my own hotels and I booked all of them through my vacation club because I do a lot of research. I compare between like public pricing, like on Priceline or Google, and then compared to what my travel club could do. And most of the time they can beat it. So I booked, and then there's this like, incentive to book through them too. So even if it's around the same price, I still usually book through the travel club. So anyway, I'm through London, I'm through Rome. First two stops, hotels were perfectly located. Nothing like they were what they were advertised. Okay. So I get to my third stop, which is Thessaloniki, in northern Greece. And I had a rental car. So I pop in the directions on the GPS I'm driving and I'm in like somebody's neighborhood. Like it's not looking like a commercial area at all. And I'm like, So at one point I drove past the place because I didn't recognize it because it didn't really give hotel. So, and then I like accidentally drove into like somebody's driveway and they came out, they were like, oh, and I was obvious language barrier. I didn't realize it because it was like a lot of hills and I'm just like, but they like helped me back out and I like turned around and like eventually found the place. So I get there, and to make a long story short, because I don't even need to go into every moment that made me fucking uncomfortable. My room wasn't ready immediately, so there was like this kind of like tavern style waiting area where like the check-in area was right next to like a bar, and like it was kind of supposed to be like communal, more like a hostel.
I was thinking brothel, but that's a different thing.
Oh, bitch, no, it's not a brothel. It was a
right. But was it given that they could have been? It was that.
I don't know, maybe. So I had just got off a flight from Rome to Thessaloniki. It was a couple hours. It's early in the morning. So my room isn't ready. I'm not trying to be like social.
Right.
But it's people there that keep coming over trying to talk to me and interact with me. And I just pull out my laptop and I have my earphones in and I'm just like, I'm doing work. And finally my room was ready. It was on like the third floor. They had no elevator.
Wow.
I don't travel light. So I had to lug up 2 suitcases up some steps to the third floor.
Jesus Christ.
I get there and my view was horrendous. No exaggeration. This shit looked like the most rundown area of Camden.
I think you showed growing up.
Yeah,
was it like they lived like you was looking at the roof, like 10 roofs?
Yes.
Type shit, yeah.
Yes, and I'm like, why is this my view? Also, I forgot to mention, everything smelled like cat piss because there was cats and dogs everywhere, just like in the street. They weren't vicious. They were actually very used to people. And it's funny, it was the same in Mexico, actually. Like there would be places we would go in there, or Guatemala, and there would just be a bunch of dogs in the street. But they were like not
chilling.
Yeah, exactly.
Liberia, West Africa. I every time you say that, same thing. They be like pigeons, just like
pretty much, exactly. So maybe that's just like something we don't make common here. But if I looked into it, I bet you it has something to do with capitalism. Like, I don't even gotta look into it. I bet you do. But
they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs.
Oh my God, not that. But you know what I mean? I feel like the reason why we got all these rules and why it's so expensive to have fucking pets is to feed something about capitalism. Because to speak of that, I remember when I got to Thessaloniki, so basically to wrap that story
And
up.
it can segue into the main convo today too, probably.
Yeah, definitely can.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
I get up to my room, I see what's going on, and I was just like, you know what? I can't do this. Save me. So I check out, but it was like one of those ones where it was like you prepay, so it was like no refunds. And
Oh,
it
that's how
was
they
for
get you.
when it's a little shitty place like that, they're like, oh well, you already paid, so we don't
Like,
care
I
about
got
the refund
stains on
shit.
the sheets. Was it that bad?
No, but it was just like the room had like no amenities. Like I said, that view was
Mm,
terrible. It smelled like cat piss.
yeah,
I'm like, I can't do this. Like this
you
is
can only imagine.
not for
If
no
you can
free
see
night.
all of that, you only imagine what you can't see. Like,
Or when it be nighttime and like what's going on. I don't need to be having like dogs and cats. And now that we have a cat that's not fixed, I know what it sounds like to have a cat and heat at night. It's fucking obnoxious. It is literally the worst sound in the world.
oh my god.
After like 4 or 5 nights of that shit, I feel like that is the worst sound. I'm dead ass.
Oh
It's
god.
terrible.
We need to record it one time and let me hear it.
Oh
Or
my
like
god.
we could
Well,
open the
no,
show with that sound.
we will because we're getting her fixed. Because like this nigga just adopted her without
hmm
like thinking it through and
hmm
whatnot. So she's not spayed. And so when we had our cat when we were growing up, Zoe, when we got her, she was already
Yeah.
spayed and unfortunately
He
declawed
called.
in the
Yeah.
front. So she didn't
hmm
have any front claws. And don't do that. I know now
Yeah.
that that's like amputating a cat, which is crazy, but
Yeah.
that's how we got her when we adopted her. And so
Yeah.
we
She
never
was so
experienced.
cute.
I know that was my fat
That's
key.
probably why she wasn't fucking with outside though, when you said right.
That's true. That's true because she wasn't in heat and she didn't have no front claws either.
Yeah.
But this chick here, she has her front claws. And she hasn't been fixed yet. So now that we understand, like, also it's an uncomfortable feeling for them too. Like, she's not just being obnoxious; like,
Mm,
she's really like
yeah.
uncomfortable.
Right.
So it's a win-win. Like, she feels better, and we don't get kept up all night because this bitch is screeching.
Poor baby.
I don't know. Let's think about it. But eventually I left that fucking hotel. I went to a really nice one that was on the water and wound up
Mm,
treating myself and having a whale of a time.
yeah. That sounds. I actually wouldn't mind visiting Greece. The way you describe it, it sounds like incredible.
Both parts. Like I can't wait to go back. Northern Greece, Southern Greece.
Mm,
Every day, like I keep a reminder of my
yeah.
time in Greece on me.
Mm,
Got this tattoo in Athens, so I keep a
yes.
bit of Greece with me at all times.
So,
But yeah. Anyway, all right. That was great.
well, that
Uh,
brings us to your trip. You because you are the traveler,
mhm.
and you took a trip. It was somewhere where you said someone German you were speaking to, and it kind of made you think about the topic today. So, yeah.
Absolutely, yes. So, for watching and dancing this week, we're basically going to be talking about like how history is repeating itself and like the
Hmm.
rise of fascism. And what Big Sister is alluding to is on my recent trip, um, there was a German couple. And it's so funny. The girl's name was Karen, but she wasn't a Karen. I was like, oh, okay, we got a Karen.
Mm-hmm.
But she was a little bit younger than me. I think she was like 34.
Mm-hmm.
And it was her and her boo. And we were at dinner one night, and I don't even remember fully how we got on this topic. I know our guide, Raphael, he was talking about because he's originally from Spain, but he's been living in Guatemala, I think, for like the last 20 years with his wife and like kids and stuff like that. But he's originally from Spain.
Mm-hmm.
I know he was talking about like different things that were happening like politically over there, and but I don't remember exactly how we got in this conversation. But obviously, like what's going on currently in the U.S. is not only a national discussion, but it's clearly an
Yeah, it's
international discussion,
global.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I was the only American on this trip. So
Oh
our
wow.
guide was Spanish. There was a lady from Canada, an Irish lady, a lady from New Zealand, the couple
Mm.
from Germany. And forgive me, but I always blank on the country that the other girl was from.
Yeah, because you like her. She had an accent, but you couldn't like pinpoint it.
Yeah, and I
Holy
missed their after a while it's like, should I ask? It's been like 3 days. I'm just leaving it alone.
Should
So
I ask?
like I just left it alone.
They didn't give
Um
anything away, like anything. They didn't say anything that gave away where they were from, like nothing.
no.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead.
They were kind of quiet. Which
Okay.
is funny. They were the one that like I felt like the most comfortable around because like it was like, okay, so both of us don't need to be talking and filling out states.
Amen.
Okay, I see you, I see
Amen.
you. Um, but anyway, I just remember at one point we started talking about like what's going on right now in America and US politics. And that's what Kara was basically like, and I'm paraphrasing. She's like, yeah, it's really weird to see what's going on in America right now. Like as a German, she's like, we have a never again like kind of culture where we talk about it, we educate kids about it, we are truthful about it
Mm,
because we genuinely don't want it to ever happen again. We don't ever want to see the rise of fascism and
mm,
genocide ever again. And to see what's happening in the United States right now is scary because we know how this goes.
yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, and a lot of us see that too.
Mm,
But it's just weird to see like people who like have a completely different approach to how they study history, right?
hmm.
Their history isn't sanitized. They don't sanitize it and make it seem like,
Right.
our founding fathers were all amazing and we had this little civil war and we had this like little da da da
Mm,
and try to sanitize and whitewash it, and this is why so many people don't understand the truth. Like
yeah.
when I say things like white people used to literally treat us like livestock. There's some people who don't believe it or they just can't wrap their mind around it. And I'm not talking about figuratively where it's like, oh yeah, they worked us to the bone. No, they
No.
literally ate us. They literally had cookbooks
There
on how to
are
cook a
yep.
nigga. They literally used our skin and made it as leather. They literally used our hair to stuff chairs. And there's people to this fucking day who have family heirlooms
Yep.
in their homes that are made of my ancestors. Okay?
They were literal cannibals and fucking savages. The very thing I mean, white America to me is the like epitome of narcissism. If there is a cultural study of what narcissism looks like, it is white America. Period.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'd
the
agree.
love bombing, the gaslight, every process, even down to how they convince us, like, oh well, we gave you freedom. Just forget anything ever happened. They really want you
Mm-hmm.
to just be like, well, we're being nice to you now. Like, why are you still bringing it up? Type of shit.
Right. It's because you're trying to put lipstick on a pig. Like you're not getting to the fucking root problem here, which is white supremacy,
Yeah.
colonialism, a
And I
need
was
to.
about to give white people in Africa, some South Africa, some props because at first I was thinking that how they responded to apartheid was similar to the German lady and what she was saying, how their response to the Holocaust was. It seemed like that at first, right? For a few decades, even it seemed like they were very much like, you know, people were giving them a lot of props, like we're admitting that was wrong, and like we're doing the opposite of what we're saying America does, and all that, pretending
Mm-hmm.
like it never happened, which they were, but we've
Mm-hmm.
recently seen how they truly still are haters because like
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, it's just putting lipstick on a pig. It's like, oh, we're gonna make it seem like this is what we're doing, but we just trying to placate you guys so you can shut the fuck up and get off our nuts so we can go ahead and do some more dumb shit for a little
Right.
while until y'all pick up on that. And then we just, rinse, repeat.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's the shit that's crazy to me. And then it goes back to something I was talking about before, like people not being able to connect dots. So they call you a conspiracy theorist when you're able to connect dots, and you tell them, "Hey, we're repeating history." And like
Yeah.
this is the same. It may not look like it on the surface, but if you take a look one step below and you connect the dots, this is what's going on. And they're like, that sounds like a conspiracy theory to me. It only sounds like a conspiracy theory to you because you lack the ability to think critically.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't, even if you end up not agreeing, you have to be able to acknowledge when like a fact is a fact, and when it's not up for debate, it's not up for how you feel. Like that's one of the things that piss me off the most, and that I feel like comes back to being like a very like um wounded ego like kind of society is when you say something to somebody and it makes them feel some kind of way. And so that takes precedent over what you're actually saying. That is one of the most mind boggling things. I had somebody on, I don't remember if it was IG or TikTok. But I posted something, and I don't even remember. I might have to go back and find it. But I posted something, and basically, in a nutshell, it came down to like, take what we're saying over how we say it, talking about how like a lot of autistic people we communicate directly, we have flat affect, a lot of us don't beat around the bush. I mean, like look at Daria, she is our
icon,
autistic queen, exactly, iconic. So think Daria, right? And so a lot of times people take that as being rude, being aloof, being detached, and that's not necessarily the case. And so I was basically saying you need to listen to what we're saying and not how we say it. And some nigga come in my comments talking about some nah, cause how people be saying stuff really do affect how you receive it. And I was like, you literally just proved my point. I was like, if you could just say that feelings matter more than facts. And that's what I've said to him. And he was like, yeah, my feelings do matter more than facts. I'm like, why are you just continuing to make this? He don't even realize that he's continuing to like prove my point.
And this is a guy too who men love to make us feel like women are the emotional ones. They be the main culprits of this feelings ass shit.
Because they always they have rebranded anger as not an emotion. And because of that, that's the only emotion that they allow themselves to show. They suppress everything else. And so they think getting angry and it's just being an alpha male, just being like, no, like that is you being an emotional little bitch.
And to be honest, a lot of what I guess autistic or neurodivergent people, to your point, like when Daria says the thing she says, it's not like it's with no effect. Like there isn't, how she's saying it isn't even with an emotion. It's just straight out like if you can listen to AI say something, that's how a lot of times y'all be saying it. Like,
hold on, don't do that. Don't compare us to robots. That's terrible. No, I'm serious. I gotta call you out on that. Don't compare. That is a sore spot for a lot of us because a lot of us are accused of being robotic, being people who don't feel, and then people treat us like we don't have the capacity to feel just because we don't emote. In a way that has been like, conditioned
as
to
normal.
Exactly.
But I agree.
I get what you're trying to say. She's monotone. She has flat affect.
Yeah, it's like,
she's saying it as
somebody said something to make you feel a way when they didn't say it with any feeling.
Exactly. It's because a lot of the times when we like, okay, so what has been conditioned to be normal communication is passive communication. So a lot of times people use their position in the hierarchy. They use social cues to communicate certain things. And if you're someone who doesn't pick up on social cues naturally, or you do, but you just don't value that kind of hierarchy, and you're okay with speaking directly and not dancing around things, you can't say something directly because you'll say a direct statement and then they'll interpret it a certain way, assume their interpretation is what you meant because they're
Right.
assuming that you're not speaking directly. I have a perfect example of this.
Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, there was somebody I worked with, right? And we were both a part of a video project at work. And they had like emailed me a link and I saw the video or whatnot. And we had recorded this after we no longer worked in the same department. So I had moved to another department. He was still in the department where we first met and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So we saw the video separate from each other, and I had seen him for a minute. So the next time I saw him, I was like, "Hey, how was your experience with shooting the video? Were you nervous?" And I literally just was asking like if he was
Right.
nervous. I wasn't
Right.
implying that he looked
Lying.
nervous, but from his response, I can tell that he received "Were you nervous?" as me saying you
You look
looked
nervous.
nervous. Hold on, real quick.
Yes.
Hey, sorry about that, y'all. My dad called. You know, I had a class. But basically, by the way he responded, I could tell that he took my direct question of "Were you nervous?" as "You looked nervous," because he was like, "Of course I was nervous. We're everybody was nervous." And I was like, yeah, no, I was just asking if you were nervous. I was so nervous myself. Like, you know, I was trying to find a way to connect, and he interpreted my question as a statement. And that is like the example I go back to a lot because it's like that's the perfect example of how I am literally, there's no subtext. What I mean is what I actually said, but there's people who've been conditioned to just like hear with their emotions as opposed to like actual logic. So yeah.
Yeah. I have a story with that too.
All right.
Somewhere that I worked, possibly present, maybe past. I told this person who I am a leader of. Basically, they were teaching. So I'm a dance teacher and all that stuff, and so they were teaching the class. And after they were done, I was saying like to the kids and everybody and the other teachers that were there, I was like, "Wow, that was amazing! Like that across the floor that person did was intense. Like that was a lot." And I meant it in a good way. Like she really challenged y'all. That was what I said. The literal words. Like that was a challenge. She really pushed y'all. That was a lot, and not like a lot. Like, oh my God, you did too much. Like, wow, like I was not ready for her to give it to you like that type of stuff, right? This person comes to me like a week later, like, and you know, when you were saying that, I was like, you know, that was a lot or whatever. Like, you know, you sound like you was like, you know, criticizing me or something like that. Essentially, like the way that they heard it was like they thought I was being shady. Actually, I think that might have been the words they used. And I'm just like, granted, I can be a shady bitch. Like, I can. But typically, I'm more like, I don't do that with, like, work people or people I'm not close with. Because shade, you know what I mean? Shade can really be interpreted the wrong way. So a lot of times, I like to be shady, like, with my friends where it's playful.
Where you know that it's no real ill intent. Like, they can pick up what you're putting down.
Exactly. And I'm not even like that because a lot of times in the arts world or even in the LGBTQ world, you know, it's just how they talk. Like they just be shady all the time. It's like the language, honestly.
Yeah.
But even with that said, I'm like, I meant it. I'm like, I wasn't meaning it like that was trash secretly. I'm like, I meant what I said. Like you pushed them. I was like, damn, if I was in that class, I would be like, girl, you got me. This is crazy. Like, oh my God. Like again, and I understand. And that's the thing. I think with language is weird too. Cause like, if I'm saying, oh my God, this is crazy. Somebody might think that I'm trying to say that this is bad. I don't know. So it's just very, and you know that I've even had this problem recently with a family member where like they don't understand how I talk kind of thing. But, and so what I'm realizing through both of those experiences is like, yeah, people really do. You can tell a lot about a person by how they interpret you. Yeah. And
a lot of projection.
A lot of and I'm so confident about who I am that at this point, like when people do that to me, like I don't even get offended. I don't want to change myself, and I don't take none of that shit personal. I'm like, oh, you're just revealing to me your insecurities.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Basically, exactly. Yeah, you can read. You get really good at reading people and understanding what motivates them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like I just really feel like a lot of these insecurities have been baked into how people have been like conditioned, and
Yes.
that has shaped language. So you can't be direct unless you are at the top. Because if you are
Mm-hmm.
at, the lower you are on the hierarchy, the less direct you can be. Honestly, they see that
Mm-hmm.
directness as you challenging their authority. They're like, you can't be this direct with me. You must be trying to buck the system. You're trying to get
Mm.
ahead. You're trying to do too much. They take that as like you being a tryhard. And
Interesting.
you get labeled as all these negative things anytime you
Difficult.
difficult to work with, not a team player, all of that bullshit. And it's really fucking ridiculous because it's a very exclusionary kind of
Mm-hmm.
system built to benefit people who are more inclined to fall in line.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing a rise in neurodivergence. We're seeing a rise in awareness and
Mm.
a rise in the language for it. Um, and
Yep.
with that comes people who need soldiers and drones getting scared and being reactionary and attacking
Mm.
autistic people, ADHD people, people who are awakening to the pattern that's happening.
Yep.
And yeah, it's like I think we talked about this before. It's like the last fight of a dying organism. It's like they're gonna go extremely to the extremes to try to keep their ecosystem going, because it's what they're built off of. Without this system, this system of hierarchy and white supremacy and oppression, they actually don't have any identity outside of that. And so,
Mm.
as it continues to be challenged by people who recognize the patterns, people who are not afraid to be the canaries in the coal mine, not afraid to speak up and out about what's going on, they're going to
Mm.
get more and more desperate to keep the illusion afloat, because it's like the final act of
Yeah.
a dying organism that we see happening right before us. And it's interesting times we're living in. And
Yeah.
that's the best word for it. It's very interesting because amid all of this we're supposed to still have like a human experience and do the best we can to create that experience that we have, and we have to
Mm.
do it amongst this. It makes it very difficult.
I mean, I would say we're in unprecedented times, as a lot of people like to say, but like to your point, this is history repeating itself. It's not
Like
unprecedented.
bar for bar too. Like it's not even like I think I told you before. This is one
Yeah.
guy I follow on Instagram. He literally like has like a graduate degree in like Holocaust studies or something like that.
Oh wow.
And he had a video, yeah, and he had a video up where he was like, "I'm gonna tell you some quotes, and you tell me if this is something that
Mm-hmm.
Little H said or
Mm-hmm.
Mango Mussolini."
Mm-hmm.
And I promise you, it was very difficult to tell the difference because they're using the exact same immigrants. We're going to demonize immigrants. We're going to demonize the LGBTQ community. We're going to demonize certain religions. We're going to make them out to be subhuman. We're going to feed into this idea that you're better inherently because you're not these people. And
Right.
so we can get you to vote against, I think they said LBJ. LBJ said this, Lyndon B. Johnson. Um,
Mm.
and I'm paraphrasing. It's like, um, give a white man somebody to look down on and they'll vote against their own interests every
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you make the lowest white man feel like he's better than the best black guy, then he'll do your dirty work for you.
they've been telling us the secrets all this time. They've been telling us.
Right.
It's woo, baby.
They're not even being slick about it.
At all.
If you have critical thinking ability, if you have the ability to, um, connect to have like a systems based way of looking at things where you can connect these dots and have that pattern recognition, it's not difficult to see. But honestly, the way that a lot of people are conditioned, and also the way they're wired more for compliance. So if you feed them information, they're just going to perpetuate that information. They're not going to think about it critically and address areas where things just don't make sense.
And they trained us that way. They trained us to do
and this
exactly
is why
that.
people who deviate from that are demonized, pathologized, and seen and made to be a problem because we challenge the system. Our very existence, especially those of us who prove that we are able to live a life that is authentic and whole and enriching and by all I guess normal standards a good life. The more that we can prove that we do that, the more it challenges their idea that the only way to be happy is to go to school,
prescribed way,
prescribed
right?
way of doing everything. Go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, buy your own house, like they keep wanting to feed you that image, because that supports capitalism. We talked about this before. Like everybody having their own house and their own car means that we're not living communally and we're spending more money on things that you could just be sharing.
But it's interesting how even it's weird because on the one hand, we have gone the way that you're describing, but then we've started to do things to sort of show that we're as a human race or as a society here. Like when you think about car sharing and Airbnbs, like in those subtle ways, even though we're still massively individualistic and under
still feeding capitalism,
feeding capitalism even through these things. But I do feel like we started to realize the communal thing is better. So we've taken it's almost like we've taken the communal idea and made it capitalism. So we got the Lyfts and the Uber and the Airbnbs or whatever. But it's still in our own way. Like we can't. I think the nature of human existence is to be communal, and so despite capitalism, these things have emerged to bring us. Like I've actually gotten friends through Airbnb, like being at somebody's house. Like now, like we're friends because of that. Like because I stayed there for a lengthy amount of time or something like that. I've made connections doing Uber and being in Uber. Like meet somebody, I'm like, oh okay, you do art, blah, blah, blah. It's just so it's one of those. It is interesting how we still can't, despite like the oppressive nature of the Western society, is that we're still trying to like that we can't resist the that growing out of us.
Right. And they know that. That's why. And I think it was Trevor Noah. But if it wasn't, please somebody correct me. Said something like they stole our community just to sell it back to us.
Yep, it was Trevor. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So good. So yeah, because like that's exactly what I was thinking of when you were talking, because that's exactly what happened. So they sold us this idea that every man is the king of his own domain. So it's up to you to go out there, get a wife, have kids, have a house, have your own car, work 40, 50 years for the same company and retire. And then because of that, people became more individualistic, but we also didn't have anything that kept up with the cost, with the rising inflation. Wages haven't kept up with inflation. People aren't really making money. So even though that ideal is still force fed down our throats, there are so many people who have been forced to realize and forced to reckon with the fact that that's probably not in their cards. Or if they force that to be in their cards, they're going to struggle to do it.
Yeah. And be miserable trying to achieve it.
And to your point, that's probably why we are seeing, okay, so like these companies are like, oh well, we're seeing a sharp decline in car sales. What can we
Mm,
do? Oh, we can, partner with different people to create ride sharing, and
yeah.
that'll get more people to buy more cars because now it's a source of income. So now people will buy a car specifically to do this. And then,
Yeah.
it also like there's so many like ways that it just feeds right back into the greed and the insatiable consumption of the cancer that is capitalism. Is
Mm.
they just can't get enough, and they'll find different ways to squeeze blood from a rock.
Yeah. Like if we could just understand that capitalism doesn't serve the whole, that's what confuses me about people who continue to like kind of, live their life around that societal setup, because like it's not benefiting most of us. It
But a
only
lot of people, they
the
can't.
cat, the bit like up here. They're the only ones
Yes.
that benefit from this.
But you got to understand, a lot of people, they cannot think outside of the box. They've been conditioned to not ask questions. They've been conditioned that when they're hit with that cognitive dissonance, like if you make a logical argument and you get them to try to listen, a lot of the times cognitive dissonance and how they feel is going to
Mm-hmm.
override them absorbing any of this information. It's very rare that you're going to get somebody who has for already attached how they feel to what they believe, which is literally, it's like, a lot of times it's inseparable. Well, how you feel is what you believe, right?
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
feel like people are a certain way, you're going to believe that. It's something you've
Mm-hmm.
agreed to. Once somebody's agreed to that, it's very hard to get them to not agree with that, to not
It's very
believe
true.
that. Even when you're hitting them with logic, they're like, well, I feel like this is happening. And you keep saying, yeah, I know that's how you feel, but what I'm saying outside of your feelings is that this is objectively true.
Right.
Well, I can't,
And
that's
we
not
know
how I
someone who used to
feel.
talk like that a lot, and they thankfully are not doing that as much these
Exactly.
days.
It's lovely progression.
It
It's
is a
lovely.
lot. Yes, I celebrate. I celebrate.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, that's
But
crazy.
yeah, it's like you whenever you're trying to have a conversation that is based in logic, and somebody keeps using language like, "Well, I just feel," or "I believe," you're
Yeah.
you're you're fighting a losing battle. You're already speaking to somebody who's not willing to listen outside of their feelings
Mm-hmm.
and listen to
And,
logic.
and the fact that you used the word agreements again, going back to an episode or two ago, that's
Mm-hmm.
why those 4 agreements, man. That shit, I'm telling you, that is like everyone read it to your child. This everybody, please. The 4 agreements is impeccable, bro. Like it's literally after I've reread it now, and I'm like, it is. It's essential. It's essential because
I
what you
agree.
agree to inside of yourself really does dictate how everybody goes about their living, like living their life. It's just and how we interact with each other. Yeah, I can't praise that book enough, honestly. It's I'm about to read it with my son. Like we about to learn this now.
Period.
For real.
Yes.
Yeah. Cuz then
Uh,
and then it helps you and not only does it make you better, but it helps you to see the shortcomings in other people. When you realize, oh, okay, this person has agreements that are toxic. You can really
mhm.
pinpoint that stuff really fast. Um I had another thought too as you were talking because like you know, um, it is very apparent like that narcissism runs our country, maybe even the whole world, but especially America. Um, because there is this like need to really um there's a need to define everybody and put them in boxes, which I think
Mhm.
is what the nature of narcissistic people like they struggle with nuance. They
Mhm.
struggle with complexity and multidimensionalism. They're not curious. Like that's one thing.
Mhm.
That's one thing that I'm going to share with my company is and like how we deal with developing youth in our company. One of the first caveats for me would be fostering curiosity. Like, if we are in charge in any way of developing young people and building them up to be stable and, decent adults, it has to start with fostering curiosity and then guiding them through discovery and not dictating to them who they are. Because there was a conversation I had in a meeting recently, and it was brought up like, oh, at a certain age, that's when they're trying to find their identity, and like we can be there to like tell them. That was the kind of the verbiage was like, they need us to help tell them who they are. I'm like, we're not going to tell them who they are.
Right.
We're going to be curious about who they are first. And we're going to guide them through discovering who they are, because this is how we create narcissists. When you create superlative, you're the class clown. And so they're looking for their identity outside of themselves. Right. And that's the last thing I want to do. That is absolutely the last thing I want to do. And then so fostering curiosity, guiding them through discovery, and then the last element for me would be having space for acceptance, because you might discover things you don't like. And so we have to be a space where people can process their anger, their whatever they find ugly about whatever they're struggling through. Because once you discover things, you're going to discover everything. If you're being led the right way, you're going to discover good, bad, and ugly, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And be in that space of acceptance, because at the end of the day, human beings aren't just all pretty. Like, we are all those things. And so be in that space where people can process their things and accept it. And then then you probably go back through it again, because as you age, as you become a parent, as you get into the work, like you're back into the curiosity. Who am I now that I've done this? Now I got to discover. Now I have to accept. So there's that constant cycle of those three things. But yeah, so I don't know why I brought this up, but it made me think about like how that's not what we do societally. It's very much like we put people in boxes and try to define them.
Right.
And then if they deviate, if we can't define someone, they're demonized. If you can't be defined, then you're demonized.
AKA the Divergent movies. Like, yes. I love them. Yes. Like, say what you want about the series. I personally love the first two. The third one was they tried to do the Harry Potter thing where they split the last movie or the last book into two movies, and it wasn't enough story there.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah, they could have just finished it in one. So now we got an incomplete Divergent series. But anyway, that's a tangent. The reason why I say that is because that's literally the premise of it. It's like in society, you have these 5 factions, and you're supposed to take a test that's supposed to tell you what faction you're supposed to go to, and you're supposed to be able to only like be this one-dimensional, person. And they have these people who are called divergent who don't fit into just one category. They either fit into multiple or they don't fit into any. And so either way, they're divergent, and they're literally hunted and treated as a threat, because if society can't control you, they can't understand, like, you're unpredictable, they fear you. And so they want to put you down. Literally, they want to take you out because you threaten their system. But the system actually constrains people when you put them in that box, because it's like, yeah, like, I can do this, but this isn't all I can do. I'm multidimensional. I'm a human. And it's funny because, like, you spend the whole first movie, that's basically what they're fighting against. And then the second movie, you realize, or I guess in the second book too, you realize that their kind of like post-apocalyptic society is an experiment. And that divergence were the true meaning of what it means to be human.
Yeah.
Because they were like, if you're able to go through all of this and still after 200 years of being in this, so it's like literally generations of only living in this simulation, and what they were told happened, that there was some war and that nothing else survived but their city and da 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 da. And then be forced into factions. If after all that time there are still people who come out of that and you haven't been able to breed out the divergence after like 3, 4, 5 generations, it shows that like they are the seed of humanity
Yep.
and they should be the ones
Absolutely.
that are protected. And so yeah, they were yeah, so
I
I
gotta
was
watch
thinking
that
about
again. I forgot about that part. I didn't realize that they revealed that this was an experiment.
yeah, at the very end of the second
Oh
one,
wow.
where because after they were like hunting Triss, the main character, and they wanted to put her in this machine where she like had to do all these tests to unlock the box because there was a message from the founders. Kate Winslet's character Janine, who was the bad one, who was rounding up all these divergents and saying that they were, a threat to the system, she thought it was a message from the founders on how they can get rid of divergence. But in reality, it was a message from the founders saying, if you
These
are
are
blocking
special
this
people.
message, you found somebody who is, super special. They're here to. And so, you know what this bitch did? What Janine, Kate Winslet's character did? She's like, bury the box. Don't let
Wow.
anybody see it.
Oh,
Like she
okay.
wanted, she
And
wanted to perpetuate.
that sounds like when people try to like, the Bible is the Bible and the Quran is the Quran and the da 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 da. But then you find these like secret scrolls over here that say this, that, and the other, and they're like, or you see these like, oh, somebody found these ancient writings where like it's aliens have come down here at some point. Like, well,
We got Autobots in this bitch.
yeah, but yeah, that sounds very much like when people try to just suppress information, like what we're doing now. We're seeing it in real time. These motherfuckers is really trying to suppress history in front of our face. It's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Gaslighting us, right? And
crazy.
like literally gaslighting. It was like you didn't
Yeah.
see what you saw, you didn't hear what you heard. And if you did hear it, it wasn't bad. And if it was bad, then it wasn't that bad. And if it was that bad, then you need to just get over it. It's
Wow.
nuts. Like literally see your face, like no, like this everything that's going on now, talking about some because the Epstein file, all
Oh
that
my God.
bullshit. That is the perfect example. It's
It
like,
is.
nigga, we know you out here. Like, what are you doing? And
It's
you're
crazy.
not gonna get any sympathy about your cankles and your vein, whatever the fuck he got going on. I don't
Yo,
give a
Josh
fuck.
Johnson. Do you watch Josh Johnson?
I do, but he hasn't like popped up on my feed a lot lately.
He talked. I'm gonna send you the one where he talks about all of this with that nigga hand with
The makeup on the back of his hand.
Oh my God. I think Josh had just recently they had him host the Daily Show this week.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I'm really like rooting for him because I kind of been following him. And I think he'll be coming to Atlanta in September. I'm trying to go see him. It'd be really dope. But anyway, they're really trying to like what did he say? What did he say? Something about he brought up Obama. It's like every time something he tried to like divert people's attention from him and with some dumb shit, bringing up Obama or Biden, which both of them niggas is not giving. Like they don't. Biden is somewhere probably trying to die peacefully, and like Obama could care less.
Yeah,
really could. Like that nigga is on his wife's podcast talking about how like nobody should eat ketchup after like age 8. He don't care. He just
wow. Was that real fucking topic?
He really did say that though. He's like, why ketchup is like what kind of condiment is that for an adult? I don't know, but it's dumb. But it's just I'm just bringing it up to show how he's not caring about anything this man's doing.
Yeah. Get that motherfucker fan because he like, I got my boots on the ground.
Period.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. Well, last statement I'll make on this, and I guess we could go on to the next thing. But speaking of neurodivergence, and I gotta bring my man up because again.
You and this nigga, you and this ghost.
Which, by the way, I will because I swear to God, I am like the worst. But his birthday is August 29th. And so I will have the last episode that we recorded, even though I still feel like I need one more episode. I don't know if I need to do it myself or we should talk, but I feel like there's a couple things we didn't hit on. Anyway, if there is anyone on the planet that has ever been outside of Jesus fucking Christ himself, okay? I just feel like Michael Jackson is the most like, it's like the most global, international, neurodivergent person ever to exist. I just do. Like, I've been, and I don't know, we could probably talk about this next time too, because I've been really into asexuality.
Okay.
And
into it as in like learning about it or feeling like it's an identity.
I wouldn't say it's an identity of mine. That's a hard one. I would definitely say researching it. Yes. I've been really into researching it because I do see a lot of those characteristics in Michael. I mean, heavy. And what it's crazy. So, but maybe because I mean, I don't know if I would call myself celibate like by choice. Maybe. Yeah, but I'm about 3-4 years in, honey. That's the longest I ever gone. Ever. And again, it's not like there are options out there, I guess. I just don't care for them. So like, I'm very particular. Yeah. I don't know if I've always been particular. We were talking about this too, like, have I always been particular for real? But I just did things because, I had like certain father wounds and all that stuff from me that I was trying to fill. So if that wasn't there, would I have engaged in certain activities as soon as I did? It's hard to know. And I'm also realizing like there's such a spectrum to asexuality too. Like being asexual doesn't mean you don't have sex. It doesn't mean that you don't enjoy pleasure to some degree. It doesn't mean that you're not romantic. There's so many like there's like aromantic and like, so you have people that are they're just very romantic. They're writing poems and they're very loving and like gift giving and they like to be affectionate and like physical, but not necessarily to the point of full out sex. Or like you could be asexual but still be willing to satisfy your partner if that's what they want. There's a lot of this. It's a really interesting topic, and I'm really doing a lot more research on it. But yeah, like he was clear. I feel like he was very clearly that. Like even some of the conversations that have resurfaced after he passed. But there's been a lot of like interviews that have been recorded of him that were not released until he passed away. And like, he says things like that. Like he's talking to one friend of his, like, he's talking about some girl he's into. And he's like, well, she knew I think the lady he was talking to was like, well, she wanted to know all of you. She wanted like all of you. And he's like, well, she knew how I was before we shit like that. It's shit like that. Or like there was an interview with Diane Sawyer right after the first set of allegations came out. He was married to Lisa Marie at the time. And he's explaining that he's like, I would never ever invite anybody into my bedroom. I'm not even interested in that. And I've always with the way he said it, it wasn't even like I'm not interested in like kids. It was like I'm not even interested in it.
In sex.
Period. Like it was very, the energy behind how he said it was very that. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, he got a whole wife right there, right? So like, even though Lisa Marie says she has said that they've been physical and that he was like, he wanted to do that very quickly with her. I don't know. That's a whole complicated conversation. But I truly do feel like that just wasn't what he was interested in. Yeah. Generally. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like I don't think Lisa Marie was lying. I think that he probably did engage sexually with her and he probably did like her. Like, I don't know, because they were talking to each other even before the allegations. They were like kind of into each other and shit like that. But I really do get the vibe that man just did not care for sex. He could care less.
Yeah.
How
do we get on this topic?
Anyway, but neurodivergence in the sense of like, there's just certain people that existed in the world or still exist in the world that just they cannot be put in a box. Yeah. And I just feel like he was one of those people for sure that like, yeah, you're a pop star, but even in the box of pop star, he's just so different. Just so he's undefinable. Yeah. You know, there's so much about like, that's why I feel like I'm so obsessed with him, because he's so intriguing. And like you could just there's actually a woman, I forget her name, but she has a podcast and she wrote a whole book. Like what her goal is basically she has begun putting Michael into like actual collegiate studies, because she's like dead ass. Like, I got to find her name. But yeah, she's written a whole book. It's like a collegiate book. Just like, because honestly, I agree. Like, this man should be studied. Like, his entire existence hits so many different human like topics, race, sexuality, humanitarianism, just the psychology of him, because of he's clearly someone who displayed like signs of trauma. Like, we know he went through trauma as a kid. There's so many levels. Like studying this man could really help you understand humanity as a whole, I feel like. And then his musicianship and his artistry. Like, and the thing is about him that I'll get off of this after this, but the thing I've noticed about him is that he actually told us a lot. Like, he gets accused of being very secretive and like, we don't know, he's such a mystery, and he's so, I'm like, actually, if y'all actually listen to that motherfucker, he said a lot. He told us pretty much everything. If you listen
to what he said and not what you thought he was saying,
and not what you right. He actually told us a lot. But to your point, we like to listen with our feelings and not, I guess, with our actual ears. Like, I don't know. Like,
exactly. No, but when you're talking, it actually reminded me of something that we were talking about recently, where when you can't put somebody in a box, like society loves to put us in a box. And so when you do have people who are innovators, who create something new, these people who are predisposed to being perpetuators instead of creators, they take that and make it a standard. And then now everybody is using that or looking to that as like something to emulate. And think about all the people who have become famous who can credit their style to Michael Jackson.
Him. Absolutely.
And even though they have their own style, they will forever always be, because he set this standard by which a lot of people like. And I just feel like the more people are able to actually freely express themselves, the more you will see the true diversity of humanity.
Exactly.
Because when you have like 90% of us trying to be like each other and only 10% of us being uniquely ourselves, and you get the kind of people that we have, imagine if it was flipped. If it was like 90% of people were honestly comfortable with expressing who they are, I couldn't imagine how beautiful this world could be if people were conditioned to be creative. And it doesn't matter what that creativity is. It doesn't always mean creative. Doesn't always mean the arts. Sometimes you can be creative in the sciences and in philosophy and in in English, and it's so many
and even that doesn't mean that you won't find your tribe, because like, if you're authentically yourself, you still probably will find other people that are similar to you. I think that's what people assume, is that everybody is going to be all different and confusing. No, we actually I think part of being a human is also still creating the structure too.
Right.
Because look at nature. Nature still has a structure. There's summer, spring, fall. Like, there's still, but things are, there's insects that have certain things that they do. every part of creation is uniquely that, while also being like working in tandem with each other and having a certain like rhythm to it, you know?
It's a time for everything and a space for everything. And so, yes, exactly. You can be your unique individual self, but because we are human, there's undoubtedly going to be somebody who is vibrating on the same wavelength as you, and you attract your tribe.
Exactly.
With just your authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
I think this, and that actually brings it back around. These people created the standard. They didn't have the audacity to do that, and so they had to, by force, create this system by which their way is upheld, and every other way is demonized. And it's really fucking crazy that we're in 2025 still dealing with this bullshit.
I'm starting to wonder if narcissism is just part of being a human being too. If that's what
I
the
feel like
sin, when you think about the Bible talking about like sin entered humanity, I almost feel like sin is narcissism. It literally because even the way we take these unique people and we go through the cycle of what narcissists do. Like you take Michael, if you want to take Michael for example, the love bombing. Oh, you're this, that, you're so great, you're so da 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 da, and immediately like the very thing we valued, the authenticity and the uniqueness, we take that and we devalue it.
Mm-hmm.
And we demonize it, and then we discard.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally, we took this man through those very things. Same, I mean, a lot. We think about a lot of people in the world like that have been upheld, you know, and that dared to be different and stand out. We love bombed them to some degree, and then we devalue and discard them, and then a lot of times they end up being martyrs that we murdered. And then what do we do? Love bomb them again when they're dead.
Right. A lot MLK.
And they got the nerve to put these files out talking about, oh, right before he died, he was talking about economics. Bitch, we already
you're not telling us anything that niggas ain't already fucking know. What are you talking about? Like, this ain't new.
When he was trying to say, y'all loved him. When he talking about money.
This nigga can come out tomorrow and say, and we're going to take you guys to Area 51 so you can meet Bleep Blort, the Martian that we done had on lock for the last 15 years. I'm be like, and before we meet Bleep Blort, let's get the Epstein files. Because I don't give a fuck about what Bleep Blort is doing. Unless that nigga was on the files too. Unless Bleep Blort was out there getting freaky with y'all.
MLK's daughter or grand, somebody was like, she said that same shit. She put a picture up of MLK, like, looking at the world, like, with his eyebrow raised, and was like, okay, and now the Epstein files.
Right, like all these distractions. like you're not finna get us off your ass. We're on your ass. We're on your cankles, bitch. Where's those fucking files? You trying real hard to distract us.
That's what we do. Yeah, we like to uphold people, and it's just so sad. Humanity is beautiful and also very, very sad.
Trash. Like, Anyway, let's get off this topic because I was figuring to go on another tangent. And I'm like,
I know. We'll save it for the next one. Next one we'll probably talk. I think I do want to talk about the asexuality though. If anyone's interested in that, I think in the next couple of episodes, I'm gonna do a little more research, but that might be a good one to touch on. So if anyone's interested in that, tune back in.
Please do. All right, y'all. Time for a teensy break, and then we will be back with our hating and loving. All right, we're back, y'all. And this week for hating and loving, I'm gonna throw it over to Big Sis to start it off. What's on
today? So, we've been talking about this for a while because, this is my sister, so we talk a lot, even outside of this recording. But, one of my recent, loving to hates has been just the overall idea and concept of the beauty standard put amongst, particularly with women or anyone feminine presenting, that we have to be hairless, or that our the hair that is on our body has to be pristinely groomed and curated in some way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even down to like my locks, right? Right now, I haven't had a real like root, like retwist at the root, like a real one, in like probably a year, to be honest. But I'll do it myself sometimes. And I think the last time I really did anything with these was probably like May, because I had a show with my the place that I work, and so I did like a little. Well, the way that my locks are, they're so thick. I used to do Bantu knots, but they're so thick now that they can't really stay in a knot. So they kind of end up being like little
like pin
curls, like pin curls almost, right? Which I like. It's kind of cool. It'd be cute. And then when I let it down, it got like a cool little like curl to it or whatever. But it's summertime here. In Atlanta, like if you have a pool or outside pool or something, they're usually open until about Labor Day. So I'm in and out the pool. I'm like, I'm not about to pay money for a retwist when I might get in the pool. Like, I'm gonna wait until Labor Day and then I'll go pay the money. So all I have to say, I just really hate the idea that being a woman, being feminine, has equated itself to hairlessness and to shaping your hairs even. Like, so I go get the threading, which I will admit I do enjoy threading more than waxing. Yeah. And when I say enjoy, I mean that the results are better. It lasts a bit longer, but I do not enjoy the process at all. I be in that chair like tears in my eyes, like, and they have to apologize to me all the time. Every time I go there, it's crazy.
Oh my god!
Literally, because I'll be wincing and everything. I just fucking hate. Because then the thing is also, I'm a hairy chick for the most part. Like, not really hairy, but like more than most. So I have chin hair, I have lip hair, and all that shit too. And I remember the first time I had them thread my lip hairs.
Ooh, bitch, that's real pain.
I literally almost kicked that bitch in her cucarachas. Because like I was like, oh no, you will not. I'll get the wax. Yank this out in one blow. Because the threading of the lip is crazy. Yeah. Then like if anyone, I don't know if anyone doesn't know how threading works, but you have to hold your shit like this, right? You gotta hold it for them, right? Which that when I first went, I was like, I gotta do work, and you're gonna ask me for a tip. Like I should not give you a tip because I had to fucking use my arms and shit, bitch. Like anyway, so they make you hold your shit, and then like I don't even know how they figured out this technique, but they use basically like thread, like literal thread, and they like have a part of it in their mouth, and it's like I don't even know how they figured this shit out. Right. But yeah, so I get the eyebrows threaded. I love the shaping that they do has been exceptional. Because when I used to get them waxed, they used to be too thin. I had to grow my eyebrows out, so threading's been great as far as that goes. And then I do let them. I'll do like a wax on the lip and a wax on the chin. And then if there's any stragglers, I'll let them thread the stragglers on the chin because the chin is a little less sensitive. Yeah, so that's fine. But the lip bit, no ma'am. That is real pain. That's real pain. No, because I get my eyebrows threaded too. Actually, I need to go. I clean them up a little bit, but like, they don't look bad. Yeah, I know, because like my threading, I can go at least 3 weeks in between, but I'm at like 3 weeks at this point. So okay, yeah. But I bought my own waxing kit, and actually this afternoon I'm waxing my lip and chin, and I do mommy's lip and chin too. You can actually yank the hair out your own face? Yeah. I could never pull hard enough. I tried it before. I tried to get one of them Johns. I could never like pull hard enough to do anything. Well, firstly, I use hard wax. I don't use the soft wax with strips.
I don't know. I don't find it difficult to do it. Plus, like I watch like it's this one esthetician, it's called Queen Wax Lady or something like that on social media. And like I've watched like her techniques and stuff like that, and I started to like implement it. And it like actually like when I did it like a week or so ago, I was looking at the strips. I'm kind of weird that way. I look at the strips like, oh my god, look at like this is actually kind of cool. It's kind of weird, I know. But when I first did it, I wasn't getting a lot of hairs out because like I wasn't using the right consistency. I like low-key burnt myself. What is that?
You burnt yourself? Oh my god!
The wax was a little bit too hot, so it was like a very, very superficial burn, but it still wasn't very good. But now, like, yeah, last time I waxed, it was like the best one. Like I was like, damn. Yo, most of these hairs is on the strip. So, yeah, I like doing that. I do that myself. I only pay for it. But I don't like doing that, but I prefer it over having to shave every couple of days and still having like a 5 o'clock shadow. Like, this is how I get rid of the like chin and lip hairs without having a 5 o'clock shadow, and it takes longer for it to grow in.
That's true. That's true. Because I do tweeze in between a little bit,
but you don't want to break hairs off because then that's a whole other topic. But I learned about like you got to get it from the root. That's why threading is good too because they pull it out from the root.
Yeah. But I also, with that said, I also feel a way about, you know, sometimes a bitch ain't trying to get all up in the underarms. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a grown ass woman. I get hair here. What we doing? Like, it's hair places. Like, if I go, like, I got a homegirl. We went to the pool a couple weeks back, and we were both in our bathing suits. And listen, things was poking out the bathing suit.
It looked like the 70s in that bitch.
What we doing? And that's what I'm saying. Like, can we go back to that, honestly, though? Because y'all niggas need to stop. With speaking of Jeffrey Epstein, y'all niggas need to stop being out here thinking grown-ass women need to be, like, completely smooth down there. What are we doing? What are we doing? That's my complaint. Like, when it comes, like, I love to hate it because I just, the love comes from, yes, when you do, you know, nair and shave and get the threading and all that, yeah, it looks clean, it's pretty, you know, hygienically it's probably better to have less hair. Sure, I agree with all of that. But to make it like it's the standard, like if I'm washing my fucking ass every day, I shouldn't be expected to be hairless all the time. I'm still clean. Like,
yeah, I don't have the same standard for men who typically, on average, do more shit that makes them sweat in different ways and smell all kinds of ways. They think washing their ass is gay, even though they're touching their own booty cup. Like, you know, and we don't say that these niggas ain't. I mean, like, some women don't like hair at all. Like, I personally, I can't get down with back hair. I've come around a little bit on chest hair. Like, I used to be one of those people who was like, ew, I hate chest hair. But it depends. It depends. Back hair, that's a no.
Back hair is a no-go. Yeah. Like, I will shave your back. If you're a hairy nigga and I happen to love you, that will be part of our ritual, our romantic ritual, that I am shaving that hair, bitch.
When I hit my lip and my chin, I'm getting your back with this wax.
Exactly.
Back and shoulders. It can't come up past here. The clavicle is the cutoff point.
And that's pretty serious.
Until we get to the head. Like,
and I don't even mind, like, you know, when the hair come up to the belly button a little bit.
A little happy trail.
It's kind of sexy. It's kind of sexy. But like, to your point, I'm like, yeah, our expectation with men is like, okay, both of us have bodies. Hair works the same way on both of our bodies. Why am I expected to be completely hairless?
And you got a forest in your balls.
I just don't get it. Mind-boggling.
Double standard for me, and I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
Yep. So that's my love to hate.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's funny because I actually am not very hairy on like my legs or my arms. Like, I actually can't remember the last time I shaved my legs, and I wear my legs out all the time. It's just like, it's no visible hairs really on my legs. Yeah, like, I don't get hairy on my legs or even on my arms. But you know, my P's and my pits and my V's, my P's
My
and my
P's and my V's.
Get all the hair, and then my lip
Right.
and my chin.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. I don't know if you remember this woman named Paula Cole. She did the I don't want to wait. Yeah, from Dawson's Creek.
I think we talked about her.
There was a Rolling Stone cover or something she was on, and they edited her because she was laying down like this, and she naturally had her hairs there, and they wouldn't edit it out. She would have whole to do about it. And like, you know what? Respect, bitch. I'm like, at the time, I was like, oh, this white woman is being a Karen or whatever. Well, I'm not Karen at the time because we didn't have the term. But essentially, like, oh, she's complaining. Now I'm like, actually, I get it.
Right. Like, y'all had her fucked up. So, of course, she was going to complain. Like, what are you talking about?
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I completely agree. That standard is for motherfuckers who just like we said before, just tell us you like kids so we can lock you up. I'm 37 years old, bitch. I got hair. Like, what are you talking about?
You want something smooth as a baby bottom? That means you want a baby's bottom,
right? And you're not finna get that over here. So,
okay, what's yours, Box?
So I don't know. I think I've been kind of negative lately. Should have been like, I don't think I've had a loving in a while. Because I'm hating, and it's really not really hating. It's more just like shattering of an illusion, right? Because I hate how nostalgia made me romanticize summer. And I like for the longest time I just always it's like summer's my favorite season. You know, my birthday's in July. I'm a summer baby, and then being in school, summer was equated to freedom.
Yeah.
And so, and I love the beach. I'm such a water person. I love the beach. I love the pool. So all those things are like associated with the summertime. And so for the longest time, if anybody asked me what was my favorite season, I would be like summer, easy. But if I'm being honest, in like the last probably 6 years or so, it's become very abundantly clear to me that autumn is actually my favorite season. Especially like in this area. If you talk about like September, October, November, the weather for the most part is pretty decent. Like in September, it's still a little warm.
Right.
So you get to October and then but it's not like summertime warm. It's like, 60-something degrees type shit. Right. And then you'll get into that weather where, maybe I might need to wear a little sweater and like some leggings and some boots, so you can add layers like the
layers. Yeah, I love fall fashion. Yeah,
like in the summertime, it'd be too damn hot to be trying to
be
cute. Like
exactly,
it really is like the most like looks I would serve this, and this is especially when I was working in the office, so like I had to go to work in the summertime. And I still wanted to serve looks because, I was but I was wearing a lot of dresses, like, or skirts with with stockings or something like that. Because like you can't really like layer, at least not for me. I would get too hot. Like even
unless you do the thing like how if you do the thing where you wear like really breathable fabrics. So you know how like in the Middle East, a lot of the women have to be fully
of course.
covered. And so you can find a way to have breathable fabrics and still kind of give that fall vibe, but it's lighter. And and
I used to play with that a little bit when I was smaller. But now that I've gained some weight, I'm like, I get too hot. So like I'm literally wearing this slip dress or like a t-shirt with shorts or but even when I was a lot smaller, at my smallest, I still was getting hot, and I would be like, I'm not wearing a bunch of layers. Like, you finna get this top and skirt, or you finna get this dress, right? But autumn, you can wear like the sweater, the hats, the scarves, the leggings, the boots, the jeans, like all the stuff that I love to wear. And then like I said, the weather is a little more mild, a little bit more predictable. And then I also love the flavors that are associated with so you got like your apple caramel, your spiced, your pumpkin spice, your spiced
cinnamons,
nutmeggy, earthy, clovey.
I agree.
mulled wine, warm, cozy. Like when I think about and think about how I had my apartment, right? Didn't it give you
Yeah.
fall vibes all year round? Like I would have a candle burning and it was
I'm the same
cozy.
way. I'm the same way. I
Yeah.
love that fall, even slightly winter, because I mean I'm in the South, so winter here isn't very wintry.
Right, that's true.
It feels like I have an extended fall, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
Yeah.
I wish. But no,
I
you're right.
know.
Because, like, going into, like, early winter. So I would say, actually, like, September through December is actually, like,
Yeah.
my favorite time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, like, learned to romanticize the summer. But, like, I hate being hot. I hate that no matter how naked you are, you're not going to be able to cool down without an air conditioner. Like,
Okay.
in the wintertime, say if like, you live somewhere where the heat was a little, iffy, you can add on layers until you get warm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can
Hot
put on,
chocolate,
yeah, hot
all that.
chocolate, you can drink something warm, drink some tea,
Yeah.
open up the oven like how we used to have to do in Camden. Used to
Yep.
open the oven and warm our shit up.
Woo! That is true. Like the thing about winter or colder months is that I feel like you're right. It's easier to get warm. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can find a way to get warm and stay warm. But with heat, outside of having air conditioning, if you don't have air conditioning, you just hot. The fan can be blowing, it's blowing hot ass air.
Right.
You can maybe getting into a pool, maybe, but I think that's probably the best you can do is get into water. But even that, if you're not in the water, the second you step out that water, you fucking dry in a few minutes.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so
You get steam dried by the sun. And then
it's more
also
fun, but
it is, even if you're at like the beach, which is the best because the ocean's gonna be colder than a pool.
True.
It's still after a while your body gets acclimated to the temperature. So after that initial cold, like, ooh, it's so cold.
Yeah.
Once you're in there for a minute, it's like, okay, well, again, you're not hot, you're not sweating, but it's not, doing the cool down thing. So yeah, when it comes to being hot, like there's literally only like two ways to do it. You can't get naked enough. Whereas in the wintertime or when it's cold, you can add on enough layers to where you're no longer cold.
Yeah.
And that's
And
always
it's cozier too. Like I feel like getting warm, and I think this probably speaks to our nature. I guess we're both maybe a little bit more introverted in the sense that like the idea of getting warm is more cozy and like insulated.
Yeah, I love it.
Right. And then trying to get cool requires more like expansion to some degree. You know what I mean? So that could be what we're relating to as well. Is like, I want to just get cozy. I just want to get like snuggle.
I love being a burrito. I do.
Yep.
I love wrapping myself up in a blanket and then also having a blanket on top of me. Like, that's part of the reason why I love that comfort sweatsuit set, the travel set.
Yeah.
And actually, bitch, they had the audacity to drop a new one after I came back, where their hood has a built-in sleep mask, so you can either tuck it in and wear it like a regular hood, or you can unflip it and it has a sleep mask. I gotta get it. I have to. But that's part of the reason why I love their travel set or their sets in general, because it's weird. Like, I don't know how they do it, but the fabric is soft but also slightly weighted, so it's comfortable to walk around in when it's not burning up hot.
Right.
But that's what made it perfect for being at the airport, because the airport be cold, but the airplane really be chilly. And I love to use a blanket usually to go to sleep on the plane. I did not need to use a blanket because it's it's already oversized. It's slightly weighted. It's soft. That the hood is big enough that I was able to put it over my hair with my headphones on. It's like everything still looks stylish and cute. Like, I know I said earlier, no free promo. Honestly,
but,
I genuinely fucks with comfort, and honestly, they could sponsor and give us some.
Listen, let's go. Come on. We gotta get more listeners though. We gotta get more listeners, guys. I
know, right? Tag comfort and let them know that we got some people over here that's trying to. But either way, like, I gotta get that new one that got the little eye mask, because that will 100% complete my travel outfit. Having these on, also, this was the first time I flew since I've had my noise canceling headphones. The best sleep I've ever gotten on the plane. Like
Wow.
literally, like it blocks out when I put the noise canceling on. Like I could not hear the hum of the engine.
Oh, wow.
And it was just like pure sound of whatever I was watching or listening to.
Does it work when the cat be acting up at the house?
That's the thing. That's how loud that bitch is that even when I have on my noise canceling, I can hear that screeching through it when she was.
Wow, that's crazy.
I was like, Toph, if you don't shut your ass up. Speaking of
that's hilarious.
She's been my shadow lately, but I don't know where she is right now. That's my little stinker. She's so cute.
Hilarious.
But yeah, I got nostalgia really did make me romanticize the summer. But if I'm keeping it a buck, I like autumn better. Now, sometimes I like to go places because it's hot, because I want to do things that I do that are hot, like
beach stuff.
When we go to Hawaii, like you have to go to the beach. Like the fuck, those beaches are gorgeous. They're 100. They're just like pristine, gorgeous, amazingness that we don't deserve. You know, or what I wanted to do when I was just in Mexico, what I will do when we do go back to Mexico, is be on the beaches down in Playa del Carmen and Merida.
I actually don't feel brown enough. Like it's almost August, and I would normally be way darker than this, and I feel a way that I have not.
Really?
I feel like I have. I mean, I've gone to our pool and sat out, but they have a bunch of canopies a lot too, where So I just feel like I'm not brown enough for me.
You've been using sunscreen though, right?
I have. That's the thing. Like, yeah, I've been using my sunscreen, but I'm just like, I should be crispier.
Girl, it's funny. If we were to record this like a week ago, I would have shown you. I had the craziest tan line. Like, it's very faint. You can't really see it now. But from where I wear my watch, it was such a stark distinction. Like, wow. I look like two different people. Like I said, you can kind of see it now. But a week ago, because like I was outside a lot when I was on my trip and whatnot. So I got nice and crispy. But then I've been home and inside, been like a shut-in, basically. Yeah. So yeah, the tan is going away, but I tan real easily. Like I don't even be trying. I mean, you yellow. Because I wear a watch usually. It's like so easy to see, like, like, oh yeah, this bitch wear a watch. That means she right-handed because you're like.
And oddly enough, like, because I'm more brown skinned than you, and I used to think that like, oh, I can't tell. No way. If I this is how I know I haven't been in the sun enough, because I have a very clear, like, the titties be mad light, and then the rest of I have not had I haven't had a tan line around here. Like, this is a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right though, because I don't wear my titties out enough. So that's what I did. I compared my wrist to my titties. I was like, so this is my real complexion, but then the rest of me be getting sun exposure. So
that part.
That's funny.
Sorry, y'all. A lot of titty conversation here.
Oh well, them tabs be tab. But yeah, no. So I'm looking forward to autumn because I'm also like a pumpkin spice latte basic bitch. I love my Uggs. I don't care. Yeah. Like some things, I don't care if they've been made to be like basic bitch staples. I like it, so I'm not gonna shy away from it. Just because actually it's funny. Every time I've traveled internationally now, like this is another one. Uggs need to sponsor us too. Uggs and Comfort. Y'all need to sponsor us because I'm giving y'all a shout out. So this is my third like international trip that I had just completed. And all 3 times I've been wearing Uggs. So the first one and this most recent one have been summer trips. So I wore my Ugg slides. The middle one was in the winter, so I wore my Ugg boots. And then now I'm wearing Comfort every time I fly. So I'm like, Uggs are my unofficial / official footwear of travel. And now Comfort is my official, like, what I'm going to wear when I'm traveling. And I'm going to be doing a lot more traveling now. So I'm excited. Don't go ahead and sponsor a bitch or a late belated birthday gift. Give me a gift credit because I need some.
I can't wait till I'm able to give the travel feedback of single mother traveling. I know there's some people that do that already, but I think the next upcoming year, I'll talk more when we are not recording about the details. But I think within a month we'll be ready. Yeah, me and a homie, we're gonna have a how to travel with a kid.
Yes. How to travel with a biscuit across borders.
A biscuit across borders.
I said, because I wanted me and Biscuit, we could go to Brazil. What's up?
No, like he swear he Brazilian anyway, which I don't know where he got that from, but all right.
Because he likes the football, the soccer. But no, I'm learning Portuguese. I want to go to.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
To Brazil.
And another birthday twin of his is homie from How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh yeah, this birthday. Alfie.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Yes. Oh, I forget, but he fine.
Alfie Enoch.
Yes, Enoch. Yeah. So, because he's British, but ethnically he's Brazilian and something else, maybe black or something. Yeah, and my son said that share the birthday.
Our ancestors are all over the Americas.
So wait, is Enoch just Brazilian?
I don't know. I know that he speaks Portuguese.
He does, and it's very sexy.
Girl.
Yeah, I think Noah says share the birthday with Britney Spears too. They have the same birthday.
Aww. It's a lot of people we know that. Brandon's birthday is his birthday.
Oh yeah, that's right.
His birthday twin.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so yeah, I definitely will be joining you on the traveling tip. We both will, and I agree with the autumn thing. Like, I even like cider. Oh my god! What that spice cider you made that one time?
I made mulled wine.
Oh yeah, that was great too.
Mulled wine, and then the apple cider with the fresh apples and
so good
in the crock pot. Good. And I love when my house
was like rum in that.
Here you go. Sorry. I drink my cider. Not alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, you can do both or whatever.
I guess although I found this pumpkin spice Captain Morgan. Pumpkin spice Captain Morgan. And it was really good because like Captain Morgan spiced rum already. Mm-hmm. Now think about a little extra like pumpkin infusion.
Because they caught on. They were like, "Oh, y'all using our shit for this? Okay."
That shit tasted good. So actually, but I just found that out like this past this summer. I didn't know about it during the fall. So if they bring it out again during the fall, which
they should. It makes sense.
I think I'm gonna try that in a spiced sangria.
Ooh.
Like use that and make
my god,
make like some mulled wine and then add that in and chill it. Might be on something.
Okay, you was talking about coming down here for my birthday, bitch. Yes. Do whatever you talking about.
Okay, yes, we will do that. All right, big sister. We've been chatting for a minute, so I think it's time to wrap it up.
You will wrap this up. I mean, I got a couple things to talk to you about off air, but
yes, it's fine. We everything ain't everybody's business. They got insight into a lot of our chats today.
That ass.
All right, but yes, big sister. As always, it's great chatting with you. Until next time.
Yes.
Bye.
Peace out. Bye.